Okay, Friend and I are back with another episode of One Step Beyond. This is going to be called Image of Death, and I think it's the last episode I have of Season 1. Oh, nope, I've got one more from Season 1, and then we're going to be into Season 2. So, I didn't realize we had done that many episodes.
The amazing drama you're about to see is a matter of human record. You may believe it or not, but the real people who lived this story, they believe it. They know. They took that one step beyond.
This historic French chateau in the Rhone Valley is for sale, or rent, as many are these days. But either way, the price is rather steep. If you're seriously interested in either buying or leasing this particular one, there are some things you should know. For instance, in its more recent history, around 1892, this chateau was the scene of a dark and chilling drama. The old people in the village below still talk about that night, and still in whispers. For one important player of this drama, the beginning was the end.
Oremus. Deus qui proprium est miserere sempre.
A death, a funeral?
Percere tu supplicaes extramus, pro anima familie tui janere.
So we start when somebody died. There's been somebody important to the family, so probably the matriarch.
That those who are joined together by thine authority may be preserved by thy help, through the same Christ our Lord.
A wedding and a funeral on the same day? Or is this at a later time? She's really pretty. She looks a little bit like Angelica Houston, like a young Angelica Houston. She's got these very strong features.
Monsieur le Marquis, Madame.
Madame la Marquise.
Of course, Madame la Marquise.
He meant no disrespect, my dear. We'll take a light luncheon in the drawing room.
Only for two, Monsieur le Marquis.
Only for two, a small reception.
Very well.
What are you called?
My name is Ernest, Madame la Marquise.
Ernest. I have seen large strawberries, huge fresh ones, on the table here when I came to visit in the past. I would like some of those.
Very well, Madame.
A lot. A big plate.
Very well.
She likes her
Madame
strawberries.
la Marquise. We had a name for him in the village. Another name. Oh, but well, we won't talk about that. I am a lady now. I'm here. I am here.
You have been here before.
But not this way. Before it was sweet Charlotte from the village. Dear Charlotte. Someone
Sorry, her want for a lot of strawberries has just got me thinking very strongly of my grandmother, because she loved berries, and we had a garden when I was growing up so that she could grow all of her fruits and vegetables. We even had a grapevine trellis. We used to, when it was just me and her there at the condo, I would go to the store and get some strawberries and some of those little cakes, sponge cakes, and some whipped cream, and we would make little strawberry shortcakes. They're so good. I haven't thought about those in a while. I don't really eat strawberries anymore. Things like that are expensive these days. We had money for strawberries back then.
pass a rainy afternoon when no one important was around. I used to sit here on the edge of the chair, having tea. Jeanette was very democratic. Has ever the world seen seen such an unhappy groom.
No, it's not that, my dear. It's just that it's been such a strange day today.
It must have been a strange day for Father Leon, too. He was unhappy.
Well, he buried Janet only 4 months ago.
So no one is happy but the bride, eh?
Oh, Charlotte, give me a little time. You know that I love you.
You know that I love you. You say that like a mouse. No one at the church but 2 choir boys. And no reception. Had I married the village chimney sweep, I would have had a more gala wedding than this.
We agreed to do it this way, quietly, so there'd be no talk.
Why is she mad?
And if they talk?
I thought it was a
What
beautiful
would they say?
ceremony.
Charlotte,
But I am human. I want to show off my new husband.
and your new house.
And my new house. Oh, you don't know what it's like to be as poor as a sparrow, but not to feel like a sparrow. Actually, I think some of this furniture is rather old.
Not old, my dear. Antique.
When you are rich, something old is antique. But when you are poor, something old is something old.
It depends on the quality of the item. When you're poor, you're often buying items that are going to wear out very quickly and therefore they get old. When you're rich, you're buying things that are a bit more solid and sturdy, and so they don't age the same way cheap things age. That's why they're antiques. That's what the main difference is. It's how well the item is going to hold up over time.
Do you think I could learn to play the piano at my age?
But it's easy to think like that when you've been poor your whole life.
Am I going to have to look at that 24 hours a day?
Yes,
And why?
remember you were so fond of Janet.
Well, wasn't I? Did I come to visit her every dreary day of her illness, bringing her soups and custards, jams, and sitting by her bedside to be sure that she ate every spoonful?
Charlotte, a little delicacy.
Ah, you've changed from the impatient lover who complains so bitterly. Why does it take so long? Why does it take so long?
Charlotte,
Don't talk to me about delicacy.
the servants might overhear.
Sorry, I can't hear anything. There's a police helicopter going, and there's also a garbage truck going. And I can hear absolutely nothing. So we're just going to give it a second. Okay. I think it's a bit more quiet now. Oops.
Delicacy.
The servants might overhear.
Did I go upwards? I didn't mean to.
To be sure that she ate every spoonful.
Charlotte, a little delicacy.
Ah, you've changed from
I double
the
tapped and I
impatient lover
accidentally went
who
forwards.
complains so bitterly. Why does it take so long? Why does it take so long?
Charlotte,
Don't talk to me about delicacy.
the servants might overhear.
She was a mouse, too. Oh, a pretty mouse. You should have been very happy. And she was an aristocrat. How did you fall in love with someone so lowly as the widow of a common soldier?
Why should this woman be so angry on her wedding night?
No, tell me first. No, tell me first.
This is Rose, Charlotte.
I have seen Rose in the market many times. Always the best for the marquise. The best meats, the best vegetables, the best this, the best that.
I can actually see the police chopper go.
Open your
That's how
mouth.
close it is to us.
Ernest,
Oh, good. She got her strawberries.
Take the picture
Maybe she'll be
down.
less of a bitch now.
Very well, Madame Lemaitre.
I am so hungry.
Eat, my darling. Eat.
He likes them big.
Ernest, will you bring me another bottle of that marvelous this wine.
Very well, Madame la Marquise.
She's very pushy.
Did Jeanette play the piano very well?
And mean.
What is it? What's the matter?
Spot on the wall.
Nothing.
Then why do you act as though it was something?
I thought I saw something on the wall.
We're gonna take another quick break. That chopper just keeps circling around. Do they sleep separately in this situation? I mean, I know the house is huge.
Jacques,
They
have
have
you lost your mind?
room, but
What are you doing?
Can't you see it?
See what?
Look more closely.
Oh, it's a stain.
I thought I saw it after lunch. A little while ago, I woke up. I had to come down here. Something forced me.
What are you talking about?
Don't you really see what it is?
It's nothing.
It's the outline of a skull.
Come up to bed.
what does he think it is? I didn't hear him.
Platters and platters of wonderful things. Meats, fish, and delicate things. And for the wines, the best wines in the cellar. I want them to leave with the stomachache of their lives.
Will that be all, Madame la Marquise?
Ernest, excuse us.
She has a lot of wants.
You too, please.
She's a very
What do you think? Do I look like a real marquise now? Will you
demanding
be proud
woman.
of me at the party?
Charlotte, I tell you it's worse. It's much worse today.
The wall again.
You've got to come and see it. It's so much clearer now. Rose has been scrubbing at it for an hour. You've got to come and see it again.
Come and see what?
I should probably just stop recording until it's finished, but it's been going for like 10 minutes already, so it doesn't seem like it's going to find the guy anytime soon.
Oh, for the love of heaven, Charlotte, come and see it.
See it. Come. All right, let us go and see it.
We're going to look at a spot on a wall. It's a very big house. Can we put a painting over it?
I scrubbed it for 2 hours this morning. I have tried everything, dye even.
It is probably some water seeping through the wall.
Then wouldn't it be damp, madame?
Well, what do you suppose it is?
Charlotte,
Rose, when you were a little child, did you ever play a silly game?
A game, madame?
Or you know, like looking at a stain on a wall or the ceiling and imagining it to be something other than a stain. Or a butterfly, or an elephant, or a ballerina in a little skirt.
Yes, madame. I remember that game.
And what does this stain remind you of?
Rose, leave us.
Stain. Look
People
at the
do it
stain.
with clouds.
Let us see how much imagination you have.
It is just some spots.
I see a
That's all.
face.
But I can see lots of things. 2 blackbirds sitting on a fence.
As it is looking at it right now, I can see a screaming face. 2 eyes, a nose, and an open mouth.
A skull. A dancing bear.
Rose, I told you to leave.
Yes, Monsieur le Marquis.
But later on, come back and clean up this mess before the party.
Yes, madame.
Baiting the girl like that. Charlotte, have you lost your mind?
No. Have you?
But why won't it wash out? Look at it, can't you see? More and more, it's becoming Jeanette.
Jeanette!
I tell you, it's true.
And I tell you, you need a doctor.
His ex-wife?
To have a little fever. And I would like you well for my party.
There won't be any party. We must lock this room up until we find out what this is.
Oh, Sherry, this is such nonsense. You're talking like a little boy.
But what is it?
A stain in the stone.
It is not in the stone.
No, it is in your conscience. And that is dangerous. Ernest!
I know it will finally be her face, the way she looked just before she died, when she realized what we had done to her. You remember how she looked? The terror in her eyes. How could you even think of having people in here?
Madame la Marquise.
Ernest. Rose seems unable to get the stain off that wall.
I know, Madame.
Well, it would look very bad for our guests.
Yes, Madame la Marquise.
It also looks very empty, doesn't it, Ernest?
Yes, Madame.
So,
But what shall we do about it?
Permit suggest, Madame la Marquise, to collaborate.
With what? A picture? Sherry, would you mind very much if we hang Janet's picture just for tonight? Get the picture.
did they kill his
And
last
have Rose
wife?
come back and clean up this mess.
Yes, Madame.
Charlotte, can't we call the party off? Have it later. I'm so worried.
Yes, I know. And that makes me worry. About you.
Yes, but I am so frightened I cannot sleep.
You are losing control.
Can't we put the party off?
No, we cannot. I did not marry you to bury myself alive.
Madame, I see something. Oh, I'm sorry, Madame. That game you mentioned.
What do you see, Rose?
Well, when you look at it a certain way, it does look exactly like
what?
Charlotte,
a dancing bear.
I thought I had said goodnight to all of my guests.
I'll be going.
Jacques, aren't you going to say goodnight to the father?
what?
What a host you've been. All evening long, just standing here. When he has a little too much wine, he becomes like a statue. Perhaps we should put him in the public park and let the children dance around him.
Well, good night, my son.
Don't go. Wait. Help me.
Help you how?
Help me. I get it. It's in the library.
He really shouldn't drink so much wine.
Seems to me he drank very little.
If you want to go now, I'll explain.
I'll wait.
Well, did you enjoy the evening?
Yes, it was pleasant.
I've come up in the world. Do you remember when I used to come to Mass with hardly a sou for the collection plate?
Yes, now it's different. Now you don't come at all.
Or your disapproval of our marriage so quickly? It was obvious.
It was your decision.
He was very lonely. And she was a dear friend.
You can help me with this. You know exactly where to find it.
Find what?
Jeanette gave me this. I poked fun at it. When did I last come to confession?
Some months, I would say.
Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. At least I remember how to begin.
Jacques, confession is on Saturday.
Just give it a few minutes. Okay, so I've been having trouble hearing it, but I think the main concept is the same that they've used in a Beyond Belief Fact or Fiction episode that I watched, which is prison guard or prison interrogator, whatever, kills a man and leaves a bloody handprint on the wall, and nobody can get rid of it until the man confesses to what he's done. Anyways, back to this one.
Why don't you go to bed?
We just keep getting interrupted by the outside
Find
world
it,
today.
Please. Find what? Is it in Daniel or Isaiah? The king who saw something on the wall.
Really, I must insist. Midnight is no time for this.
I'm speaking to Father Leon.
It's in the book of Daniel. In the same hour there appeared fingers, as if it were the hand of a man, writing upon the surface of the king's wall.
Yes. That's it.
Then was the king's countenance changed, and his thoughts troubled him. And the joints of his loins were loosed, and his knees struck one against the other.
Then was the king's countenance changed, and his thoughts troubled him.
How well you speak the holy words, Father.
What was on the wall?
The words, Mene Tekel Phares. God hath numbered thy kingdom, and thou art found wanting.
What?
Thou art weighed in the balance, and art found white.
God! Charlotte, I can see it still. I can see it on the wall. Enough through the picture. Enough! Ernest! Let's stay hard, for I will see.
Madame la Marquise.
Ernest, help the Marquis upstairs.
Is he having a heart attack? He's holding his arm. And he's clearly distressed by the stain.
You really shouldn't drink so much wine.
Yes, of course. The wine. Good night.
She is such a bitch. I think he regrets marrying her.
Is he all right?
Monsieur le Marquis seems to be.
Seems to be.
I'm sure Monsieur le Marquis will be all right.
What's the matter?
Oh, nothing.
Tell me.
I've known Monsieur le Marquis since he was a little child. But I never saw him like this.
You've never seen him when he's had too much to drink?
Madame la Marquise, it isn't a drink. If he has too much to drink, he's gay. He does all sorts of pleasant things, but he doesn't cry. He seems to be in such despair. He asked for a writing paper.
What?
Then a moment later, he changed his mind. He said, no, Ernest, it's no use. And then he started talking about... It is probably just the wine that affects him differently this time.
What was he talking about?
His first wine.
See.
If Madame la Marquise would kindly excuse me, I'm very tired.
What did he tell you of his first wife?
Nothing. That she was a gentle, kindly lady.
Well, we all know that, don't we, Ernest?
Yes, Madame la Marquise. Forgive me, Madame. I'm so afraid.
Afraid of what?
He has become so melancholy, so strange. I fear for his life.
I understand. Between us, I have felt the same thing. We must watch him very carefully, Ernest. Good night.
Good night, Madame la Marquise.
And thank you. When you asked for the writing paper, what were you going to do? Send a message to the police?
I can't go on. What am I to do?
What am I to do? If you only knew how grand you and this great house look to us from the village. What a feeling of power, strength. What am I to do? Go to sleep, Sherry.
Sleep? How can I?
Would you like something to make you sleep?
I think I would.
Well, it's late for the servants. I'll go down to the kitchen and fix you some hot chocolate myself.
Yes, do. Charlotte. I want it to work quickly. Not like Jeanette.
You are such a child.
She is such a bitch.
Charlotte, I'm here. I came downstairs. I want to drink it down here.
As you wish. Drink it all. It will make you feel so much better.
I know it will. Charlotte.
What?
Look at the wall.
The wall again.
Look at the wall, Charlotte.
Such nonsense.
Look.
She had a heart
I
attack?
didn't have enough courage to drink more than a sip. Now, I must find courage enough to face the guillotine. Eh, Inspector?
What about her? She touch any of this?
No. It must have been her heart. The shock. She dropped to the floor like a stone after seeing it. Don't touch it! I had to cover it. I couldn't stand it. I couldn't stand it.
You can stand what?
The Marquis de Roget went to the guillotine, insisting there was an image on this wall. And at his trial, his servants swore under oath that something was on the wall. Something that could not be removed. Well, there is something, isn't there? Doesn't look very terrifying. But in the village, there are those who will tell you that on the anniversary of her death, the face of Jeanette sometimes reappears. True or false? Jeanette died on the 12th of April. Now, if some April 12th you happen to be in the vicinity, why not call the local estate agent? He'll escort you up the hill, and you can see for yourself. In a moment. Something about next week.
No, so I guess that in the 50s or 60s, when this episode was made, there was a tourist attraction at this place in France. Is it France that they're at? I'm assuming from the dialect. I wonder if they still do. If anybody wants to Google that. I didn't fully get the name. That's interesting, though. And it's I've seen the story retold in different forms in different shows. Like I said, I saw it in the Beyond Belief episode with the handprint. So, and I also believe that your mind kind of creates things. Like the way she said, when you look at a stain, you create things. So it could be that he was just so overwhelmed with guilt that he kept seeing her face, even though it, but the servants themselves said there was something there, so I don't know.